Yo, that carbonara was so good.
Right?
And the milk tea too.
Oh my God, Marie, I used to go to school here.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what school is this?
Holy Spirit School.
No way.
Do you see those stuffs over there?
Oh yeah, I do.
That's where we used to take our class pictures.
Do you still have it with you?
Actually, I do. Do you want to see it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, is this your class photo?
Yeah, can you guess where I am?
Wait, that has to be you, right? Because of your hair.
Yeah, do you notice anyone familiar?
What do you mean?
Just keep looking.
Hold on. Is that?
Hmm,
This boy looks kind of familiar.
it's EJ.
Yeah, I met him once, but can you tell me more about him?
Yeah, we should call the Hildy kids.
Oh,
They'll let you know
yeah.
more about him.
We should do it. All right, let's go.
Hi, it's Faith. I just wanted to share one of my fun moments slash inside jokes with EJ. So I met EJ at the Yosemite reunion, and this kind of started happening after when we went to visit Mary Grace over in San Francisco for her birthday, since she couldn't make it to the Yosemite reunion. And that's, I think, when Mary Grace first met EJ also. But it was this one time where we were like pronouncing stuff, and it was like soda. And you know, EJ has a fun, I think, in my opinion, I think EJ had a funny, kind of heavy Dallas Texan accent. So it was this one particular word, and it was Fanta. And we were talking about orange Fanta, but he pronounced it as orange Fanta. And we just started clowning him after that. It was always a really funny joke, and I'll always remember laughing with him about that stuff. So yeah.
Hi everyone, it's Brianna. I have a couple of memories of EJ that I want to share. The first being how he constantly teased me about my Chicago accent, which I don't have, and I'm sure that some of you would disagree with me on. I just remember throughout the entire Hildy reunion trip a couple years ago, that was the one thing that he was constantly on me about. The next one was he was down to exercise with me and work out on the cruise, which was just crazy to begin with, because who works out when they're on vacation? But it was super fun because we were able to give each other tips on like how we work out and what we prefer, and it was just a really cool bonding moment for the two of us. And then the last memory I have of him that I wanted to mention was how he, within the last year or so, would randomly text me, ask me how I'm doing, ask me how school was, and it was just very touching how he remembered to text me, and I just came to mind, and it was really fun to be able to catch up with him and see how we were both doing, being across the country from each other. So that was really fun. He was just always down to do anything. He was super motivating. He would always send us motivating videos. He was always happy. He was always willing to dance or sing or do whatever. He was a very, very fun guy.
EJ was always such a joyful, fun-spirited guy. I mean, at our reunions, he's always having fun with others. He's laughing with others. He's smiling with others. If you're gonna find EJ, all you have to do is find the biggest smile in the room. I think maybe 4 years ago is when I first met EJ, back at the Yosemite. And honestly, it feels like I've known him my whole life. Just how present he was. He was always making our Snapchat group chat between the Hildy kids active. What I mean by that, week to week, he's always sending videos of him singing, pictures of himself, pictures with his dogs, pictures of his foods, pictures of him at the gym. It was just us keeping up with EJ's life. And honestly, it was beautiful. I mean, he wanted us to be part of it, and we were all. And my favorite was him sending videos of himself singing, playing the piano, and you could just see the emotion in his face during the whole video. You could see how much he loves it, how much he enjoys it, and that's what I loved about EJ. He had no problem sharing it with us.
After I met EJ at the Hildy reunion a couple years ago, I could just tell right off the bat how much of a people person he was. He's very social, very outgoing, and he always wanted to make sure that everyone around him felt included, and that goes for every reunion he attended. He's always the life of the party, center of attention, and that's just the kind of guy he was. He's charismatic and ambitious. He had plans and dreams he made for himself, and he followed them through. EJ is very generous. I will never forget, I flew out to LA a couple years ago for his birthday, and he insisted to pay for his birthday lunch. We were a group who went out for his birthday, and it was a very expensive lunch. And that's just one of many, I'm sure, that he's shown his generosity. He's very smart as well, especially when it came to finance and stocks. I, for one, always nagged him for advice on stocks, and he was always willing to share. He never hesitated. It was definitely his area of expertise. I will never forget his love advice, his life advice. He's very funny as well. I definitely admired him for his jokes, corny or not, because it definitely brought people together. And I truly appreciated that, and everyone around him could see it. He's very near and dear to my heart. I truly value our friendship, and I'm so grateful for it.
When I first met EJ in 2017 at the Yosemite reunion, I'll always remember how full of life he was. He always managed to fill a room up with smiles and laughs, no matter what we were doing or even talking about. And everywhere he went, he always radiated positivity, and I could really tell he took life on by the horns. His positive and upbeat attitude towards everything in life is something I'll actually never forget.
I remember first meeting EJ back in 2017 when we all went to Yosemite. And even though the time that we spent there wasn't long, I still really appreciate the time I had with him and the rest of the Hildy kids. EJ was an amazing guy and a great friend. He had a fun personality and always knew how to make everyone laugh. Whenever I think of EJ, I always picture him smiling. EJ was a very positive person and uplifted others.
Hello everyone, we are the Nahan Kids. I'm Indai and this is John, Kyle. And a fond memory we have of EJ is when we were all on the cruise ship, and when we were all at the buffet or we were going around the cruise ship, EJ would be at the gym while all the other kids would be either eating ice cream or munching on some food at the cafeteria or like the eating area. So that just reminded me how persistent and determined EJ was to get to his goals.
For me, a fond memory I had of EJ was when we were we were at the cruise ship at the very destination at Mexico. I believe we had like a chance to do ATV. It was me, EJ, and Harrison. We were racing against my sister, Matthew, and Erica, two other Hildy kids. And I just remember that was just a cool, fun time, and me and EJ was bonding. But to something really funny, EJ had like a serious face when he was driving. He was just so focused. And it was just funny for me. That's a good fond memory I had with EJ.
So I met EJ at the Hildy, Texas reunion a few years ago, and what I remember clearly about EJ was that he was the life of the party. I recall this one experience where I walked through the front door of one of the houses where there was a Hildy gathering happening at, and as I walked through the kitchen area, I see everyone standing around in a circle, and right in the center is EJ. And he's there, you know him, dancing, laughing. And my first reaction at the time was, oh, so that's the EJ everyone was talking about, you know? Everyone told me he was down to earth, he was very charming, very funny. And he was the type of person that you can approach, you know? There was no reason to be scared of EJ. He loved everyone the same. And so I went up to him and I introduced myself. And we talked like we were friends for a long time. And I'm sure everyone else felt that way too. And so with EJ, that's one thing I'll always remember about him, is that his down-to-earth personality influenced me to be down-to-earth as well.
I know EJ as the kind of person who just naturally spread positivity to the people around him. EJ, thank you for all of your Snapchats of your food. And also, thank you for all of your positive and supportive messages that you would send to me and your friends throughout the years. Receiving a message from you with your motivating and encouraging words really uplifted me and brought a smile to my face. A talented human being, full of joy and love, positivity.
I was initially nervous about meeting everyone because I thought I would feel like an outsider as everyone already knew each other. But EJ was one of the few people that made me feel really welcome and that I easily became friends with. In that short but sweet time that we got to spend with each other, we bonded really well. We shared many laughs and we shared many conversations about anything and everything. One of the distinct memories that I have with EJ was during the cruise when we were all sat by the poolside and he asked me why I wasn't going for a dip. And I told him it was because I was insecure about my body and I joked around about not having a bikini body. And I just remembered him looking back at me with such seriousness, saying that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your body. You should just go for it. Just be confident. And that is the everlasting impression I have of EJ. Someone who genuinely cares about people, a comforting individual who's loved by many.
Hi guys, it's Marielle. I've actually met EJ way back when he was still here in the Philippines, but it wasn't until I found out that Tita Army was also a Hildy mom, and then we bonded over that ever since, along with all the Hildy kids. My favorite memory of EJ was when we drove from Dallas to Houston, and we listened to Ed Sheeran's songs the whole way for 4 hours straight. It was Cheerios for life. Since then, we've always been in contact. He was my life advisor, telling me how it's always important to be punctual, never blame LA traffic. And sometimes he would give me advice on boys. He said always go for the good guys. However, he said, and I quote, "Life is like a box of chocolate. You just don't know if that piece of chocolate is good or not." At one point, I appointed him as my financial advisor because EJ was smart with his money. Whenever we hung out, he would always list all his spendings on food, Uber, everything. EJ was wise beyond his years, very hardworking, but he always finds time to be there for his friends and family. He was always there, would just randomly call just cause. He was such a nice, easygoing guy. EJ, may you do your own kind of dance from elsewhere, which came from somewhere, and we just call it anywhere dance.
Hey, it's Marie. The first time I met EJ was back in 2017 during the Yosemite reunion. Now, back then, I used to do vlogs on YouTube, and luckily I was able to capture a lot of memorable moments, especially ones of EJ. The first time we interacted, we immediately clicked through our love for music. And even though we had just met, I can already sense that this guy radiates positivity literally everywhere he goes. For instance, there was one time we had this long hike. I forget how many hours it took, but it's because, we would stop, take pictures, stop again, take pictures. And, whenever I looked at him, he was still so energetic and he still wanted us to keep going. He's so upbeat and he'd always say, "Come on, let's go, let's go." He didn't want us to give up or anything. And then at the same time during that reunion, it was also Father's Day weekend. And so we were all gathered up in the lobby and there was a grand piano there. And man, that boy did not hesitate whatsoever to approach that piano and play all the songs that he could from the top of his head. These would be songs from old classics to modern pop and even Disney songs too. In fact, speaking of Disney songs, let me call someone real quick. Hey Matthew.
Hi Murray.
You're familiar with that Disney classic movie, The Lion King, right?
Oh, yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, because I was thinking, that one song that everyone pretty much knows. There's something that I kind of want to do with it, and someone told me that you're into producing music, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Do you think you can help me out?
Sure, I'll make something for you.
All right, let's go.
There's a calm surrender to the rush of day, when the heat of a rolling wind can be turned away. An enchanted moment, and it sees me through.
It's enough for this restless warrior just to be with you.
And can you feel the love tonight? It's where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far.
Can you feel the love tonight? How it's laid to rest.
It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best.
It's a time for everyone, if they only learn that the twisting kaleidoscope moves us all in stern. There's a rhyme and reason to the wild outdoors, when the heart of the star-crossed Voyager beats in time with yours.
Can you feel the love tonight?
It is where we are. It's enough for this wide-eyed wanderer that we got this far. Can you feel the love tonight?
How it's laid to rest. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very best. It's enough to make kings and vagabonds believe the very